welcome to Flip-Flops and Notebooks Book Reviews. I am Elliot, and we are in Mexico. If you look up there, it looks incredibly threatening, I want to say. There's like, the wind was really warm and moist, and now all of a sudden there's a coolness to it. It's also picking up, so I'm going to try and talk fast, or I might just do the video again. Who knows? Anyways, once again, that's enough of my Mexican weather forecast. Let's get to it. Today I'm going to do a book haul all about Mexican themed books I wanted to read before getting onto this trip, books I was thinking of reading on this trip, and with everything else, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So I have not read a whole lot. I have not read any of these wonderful books. However, I do want to talk about them because when I did the research, I got really excited, and I think it would be a good way to spend your holidays if you have more time to do so. Enough yapping about me, let's get going. First of all, I thought a good one would be the classic Maya by Stephen D. Houston and Takeshi Inomata. This is non-fiction. It's an in-depth summary of the classic Maya, which is good to know because this is part of the history, right? It has a 4.28 rating on Goodreads. It's a bit long, about 400 pages, and it was published in 2009. So again, this is non-fiction. So this is a historical overview of the Maya, the classic Maya, which seems incredibly interesting to me, and I would probably whip out a notebook and take notes while reading it, so this would take me a very long time to read. Regardless, I would definitely give this a try. So yeah, it contains a lot of information, and after reading this, you'll be well informed about the Maya. That's pretty awesome, especially if you want to go to Chichen Itza, which I did. Again, it was amazing. So much history, so beautiful. It's starting to rain, but it was incredibly hot. Okay, let's continue. The Skeleton at the Feast, The Day of the Dead in Mexico by Elizabeth Carmichael. It is November right now. It's actually November 2nd over here, so it is the Day of the Dead. I found it so incredibly beautiful that, you know, the tradition here in Mexico is all about celebrating the spirits of the departed family members. It's so comforting because most of us fear death, but it's just part of life, and I thought it was a really good way of including death, which is part of life. So I talked to a local about this kind of stuff 2 days ago, and the way he talked about the Day of the Dead and the sea spirits is really beautiful. This book includes historic origins and descriptions of present-day celebrations. There are interviews with artists who provide all sorts of goods for the festival, and I think we need to stop and find shelter because it's totally raining right now. Regardless, I'm just going to finish this one really quickly. Goodreads rating, it's a 3.91, and it was published in 1992, so it's quite old, but it contains a lot of information, and it's really good to know if you want to come to Mexico around the end of October, beginning of November, and experience the Day of the Dead festival. I think I'm also hearing thunder. I'm gonna keep going because now the rain has kind of stopped, although my hair looks incredibly immaculate, right? Okay, so now we're going on to fiction. We got The Murmurs of Bees by Sofia Segovia and translated by Simon Bruni. Goodreads tells us that this is an astonishing novel about a mysterious child with the power to change a family's history in a country on the verge of revolution. Okay, that sounds pretty amazing. It has a 4.25 rating on Goodreads with over 50,000 rates. I've read people saying it's beautiful, and I'm quite intrigued to read it, hopefully sooner rather than later. Next one, and I think this is like the last one on this list, yeah it is Love in a Time of Cholera by Garcia Marquez. translated by Edith Grossman and Kjiell Risvik. I apologize for mispronouncing the name. So this one is about a man so deeply in love with a woman who waited for a long time to try again. That's what I got from the synopsis, but it was really intriguing. It has slightly mixed reviews and ratings on Goodreads, but it has almost 500,000 ratings. Like almost 500,000 people on Goodreads alone have taken the time to rate this book. So of course there's gonna be a few that are gonna say me, and there's gonna be a few that's gonna say I totally, oh my god, love it. Regardless, most of the time when books have such a rating with such a high percentage of people rating it, you'll find that it's a decent read, overall speaking. I don't think I've heard as much about this book as I did about the author's other novel called 100 Years of Solitude. I mean, that was all over the place a handful of years ago. Like, I never heard about this author, but whenever I went to a bookstore, it was like 100 Years of Solitude. I'm like, I should have probably read it at the time, but I didn't. Anyways, so, but I'm also kind of more drawn to the ones that are not as popular. That's why I chose Love in the Time of Cholera instead of 100 Years of Solitude. Okay, so I probably rushed through this like crazy, but I'm kind of worried that this is gonna turn nasty quickly. I really don't want to get hit by lightning in Mexico or anywhere actually. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video today. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Greetings from beautiful Mexico. I'll see you next time.